and welcome to Robert S. Harrington Field on the campus of Western Washington University for tonight's Great Northwest Athletic Conference match featuring your Western Washington Vikings and the St. Martin's Saints. Prior to the start of tonight's 90-minute match, we will introduce the starting 11 for both teams. First, for the visiting St. Martin's Saints, the starting 11 is announced by head coach Rob Walker and assistant coaches Giovanni Rodriguez-Perez and Sebastian Navarro. First for your Saints, number 1, the goalkeeper, Nick Mueller. The captain, number 2, Seth Kobata. Number 7, Sean Selenatico. Number 9, Brian Leonca. Number 10, Diego Andrade. Number 13, Nathan McLellan. Number 14, Xander Koenig. Number 17, Arjun Gill. Number 19, Angel Alvarado. Number 21, Daniel Shushan. And number 22, Zach Martin. Fans, your St. Martin Saints. And now for the host Vikings of Western Washington, as announced by head coach Greg Brisbane. His assistant coaches are Chuck Pitts, Matt Zagulis, and Kyle Langowski. Here's your Vikings starting 11. First, the captain, the goalkeeper out of Federal Way, number 0, Brandon Locke. In the midfield, a junior from Bothell, number 2, Lucas Hakimata. At forward, a sophomore out of Sweden, number 7, Albin Janssen. At forward, a junior from Auburn, number 10, Andrew Roeder. A co-captain defender out of Shoreline, number 12, Theo Steinmetz. In the midfield, a freshman from Mount Vernon, number 13, Edgar Serrano. In the midfield, a senior out of Shiga, Japan, number 14, Kyota Hiyate. In the midfield, a junior out of Snohomish, number 16, Aiden Fernandez. At center back, a senior co-captain out of Buckley, number 17, Mitchell Hutter. At defender, a freshman from Bergamo, Italy, number 18, Sebastiano Silvetti. At defender, a freshman out of Seattle, number 19, Krubel Tesfaye. Fans, your Vikings starting 11. We would like to begin by acknowledging that we gather tonight on the ancestral homelands of the Coast Salish peoples who live in the Salish Sea Basin throughout the San Juan Islands and the North Cascades watershed from time immemorial. Please join us in expressing our deepest respect and gratitude for our indigenous neighbors, the Lummi Nation and the Nooksack tribe, for their enduring care and protection of our shared land and waterways. And now, fans, would you please rise if able and turn your attention to the flag to the right of the scoreboard for the playing of our national anthem. Fans, be sure to stop by the concession stand outside the entrance of Harrington Field for refreshments. Grab a Gatorade, water, or light snack. Thanks to our new dining partner.
Hello and welcome back to Harrington Field, where the Western Washington Vikings men's soccer team is going to start their GNAC slate in 2023 with a matchup against St. Martin's University, traveling up the road from Lacey. This Vikings team red hot at the moment. A couple weeks back here at Harrington Field, they had a homestand where they hosted a couple of shutouts against the Colorado School of Mines and Regis University, 3-0 and 2-0 wins. This is a team that's conceding less than a goal per game, scoring almost a goal and a half per game, and a boatload of those coming from star striker Albin Janssen, off to a tear to start the season after an extremely impressive freshman campaign in which he won GNAC Freshman of the Year honors. Albin right now, he leads the Vikings with 5 goals as well as an assist. That's 11 total points, tied for the GNAC lead through non-conference play, as the Vikings are at a 3-2-1 record through their non-conference slate. On the other side with St. Martin's 2-2-1 in non-conference play. And this is a team that only won 2 games all of last season, so they've already reached that 2-win mark early on this year. A rebuilding squad, voted at the bottom of the GNAC preseason poll, but looking to turn some heads. A young team, only 1 player above junior status on this roster. No seniors. And it's a team that came to Harrington Field last year and played an extremely feisty, exciting game against these Vikings, where they were the underdogs against the hosts. That was a 4-3 victory for the Vikings, a game in which St. Martin's came back from 1-goal deficits on 3 different occasions before Mitchell Hutter header was able to seal the victory for the Vikings, who were at that time chasing a GNAC title. St. Martin's, as well as the Vikings, coming off a 2-week break before starting off GNAC play. The Saints, last time out, drew against Colorado Christian, an uneventful 0-0 finish. Before that, took a tough 5-0 loss against Chico State. Before that, though, 3-1 win over Sonoma State, opened their season with a 1-0 victory over Westmont. And that was led by one of the stars on this Saints squad so far this season, between the pipes, Nick Mueller, who has been a player who's really carried these Saints to a few results. 3rd in the GNAC in saves through non-conference play as we are underway here. St. Martin's in the white going right to left on your screen. Vikings in the dark blue going left to right. Vikings looking to stay undefeated here at Harrington Field. Neither the Western Washington men or women have lost a game yet so far in Bellingham. A 0-0 draw being the only result that wasn't a victory, and that was by the Western Washington women. For this men's team, coming off a historic 2022 season where they won 12 games, started off on a 10-match unbeaten run, which was a program record, fell just short of a GNAC title bid. Coming out firing this season, showing why they were ranked tied for the top of the GNAC preseason poll, alongside co-favorite Simon Fraser. This is a game that the Vikings are favored in, but as we saw last season, underdogs coming into Harrington Field can cause some trouble. Saw it in both the men's and women's team. Women's team's only loss here at Harrington Field last year was against a fast underdog in Western Oregon, who put up, I've got to say, 4 shots on the game. 2 of them went in. They ran out 2-1 victors. Headed forward by Hiate, not able to reach Steinmetz though. St. Martin settles, tries to build from the back. A couple of changes here. The Vikings lineup put forward by 11th season head coach Greg Brisbane. While Serrano picking up his first start here at Harrington Field. He's had very convincing performances off the bench to start this season off. The transfer from Northern Illinois University in Division I scored a beautiful free kick goal, which still stands as the goal of the season for the Vikings right here at Harrington Field. That was in the win over Colorado School of Mines, a 3-0 victory. And on the ball now is another new starter, Aiden Fernandez, who has been coming off the bench this year, but now gets the nod to start. The junior transfer from Whatcom Community College has provided an assist. Found Andrew Roeder on a beautiful ball over the top. That was also in that 3-0 defeat of the Colorado School of Mines. St. Martin's clears their lines. This is a Saints team that does not put a lot of shots on frame, averaging only about 7 shots per game. Opponents averaging 16 shots against them per game. This is a Vikings squad that's been able to make good use of their shots, especially that lead strike threat in Albin Janssen. He's scoring on just about half of the shots he puts on goal as he presses there and is just not able to come up with it. Pressing Brian Lacona there. Ball forward, searching for Arjun Gill. It's going to run all the way through to Brandon Locke, who clears it away. Albin Janssen, current defending GNAC Offensive Player of the Week. This one's going out the top for Gill. Trying to keep it in bounds, and he does in the corner. And now, looks like it did run over the line. Brandon Locke will take the goal kick. Locke has already picked up a Defensive GNAC Player of the Week award this season. He's leading this team that has been really solidly defensive. Under 1 goal conceded per game here in his senior season. And Brandon Locke, a player who, you know, he's been a bit of a squad rotation player throughout. He was the backup to Patrick Restum last season. But he's slowly carving out one of the best goalkeeper careers we've seen in Vikings history. Currently the all-time program leader in average goals against. Just around 0.7 goals against him per game in his career. He's third in the GNAC in save percentage as well this season. He's posted 13 shutouts to rank top 5 in Vikings history. 2 of those coming back-to-back in that last homestand. Ball's played to Fernandez on the near side. Looking for Serrano. Serrano's going to be called for the foul there against Xander Koenig. Koenig, the freshman, Bellingham native, graduate of Squalicum High School. One of a couple Bellingham natives on this St. Martin's squad. Alongside sophomore Giovanni Gonzalez, who started this game on the bench. Sending over the free kick is Brian Lacona. This is the team that had 3 all-GNAC selections at the end of last season, none of which have been getting minutes this year, so it's really a team looking for a new star. They found it in Mueller, the goalkeeper, as this ball over the top. It's looking dangerous, but Silvetti is able to get a right foot to it and clear the danger. Silvetti and Tesfaye, a couple of redshirt first-year starters who have done really good in defense. That one sent over the top. Andrew Roeder running onto it. He gets there. He's got a crack at goal here. Cuts it back. Shot is blocked. Top of the box. Hiate has a crack. That one is blocked. And it'll go out for a throw-in, so the first real dangerous opportunity of the match goes towards the Vikings. Andrew Roeder, we've seen him a couple times this season make that run down the wing, cut it back, and put it in the dangerous area a couple times in the back of the net. That time, blocked before he could get there. And Hiate, who's looking for his first goal of the season, had a crack from outside the box, blocked away. Long throw in, headed by Steinmetz. And out for a goal kick. Steinmetz not able to make clean contact on the header. Interesting to know Krubel Tesfaye on that long throw. Something the Vikings did not have at their disposal as far as set pieces went last year. As another one long over the top, this time looking for Alvarado. Silvetti getting there first, shielding off Alvarado and earning the goal kick. Well done by Sebastiano Silvetti again. He has been absolutely excellent in defense all of this redshirt freshman season. This ball at the top looking for Albin Janssen, who continues to press and fight for it. But in the end, coming away with it is Nathan McClellan. McClellan, a junior, currently the only player on the Saints team with more than a couple points to his name. He's got 3 points on a goal and an assist. That goal coming on his only shot on goal of the season. That one just stays over the line. St. Martin's, as every opponent coming into Harrington this season has felt, is feeling the pressure of Albin Janssen. He just runs so quick at the ball every time it's at the center back's feet. Gives him very little time to think. It's caused some problems, especially on a couple of giveaways that he's capitalized on. Janssen, the kind of player, you only need to give him one opportunity and he'll put it in the back of the net. This ball ahead finds Roeder from Lucas Hakamada. Roeder working with it. Cuts it towards the middle of the field. Steinmetz tries to get it back into the corner as Hakamada. Good move, get it into the middle. Blocked and out for a corner kick. First of the match for the Vikings. So Vikings looking dangerous early on, attacking down that left wing. Been able to get into the box on a couple of occasions here in the first 9 minutes of play. It will be Klaus Serrano, the dead ball specialist on this team, going over the corner to send it in. Serrano, an ex-Sounders Academy player. So much precision off these dead ball situations. It's been a big boost to this team. The in-swinger, low towards the near post. Janssen got a piece of it, but couldn't send it towards the goal. Back to Serrano, who puts it back into the middle, headed away. Top of the box, having a crack is Hakamada, and saved by Mueller, who dives on it. That's really impressive by Lucas Hakamada to even send that towards goal. He took a strike at it. It was still way up in the air off the bounce. It had some venom behind it as well. This time it's taken away by Hiate. Looks towards goal himself, looking for the chip. It's over the top crossbar. Mueller caught a little bit off guard, just a bit off his line. Hiate not able to finesse that one in, though. Vikings, a team that has not conceded a goal in just about 200 minutes of play. St. Martin's a team that hasn't scored in 200 minutes of play. As this one's played to Hiate, just a bit too strong. Saints looking across midfield here, can't do it cleanly. Serrano takes it back. Fans starting to pour into Harrington Field. Classes starting this week. Of course, all athletic events free to students as of this year. We're seeing the student representation come out here at Harrington Field, as well as Carver Gym. Huge attendances at early volleyball matches, upwards of 900 in attendance. And that last game against Alaska Fairbanks, a thrilling 5-set victory. I was lucky enough to be on the call alongside Zen Hill for that game on Viking TV. Fernandez plays it to Hiate, who gets it to Serrano. Back to Hakamada. Vikings patiently building up here. They've certainly controlled the run of play, especially for the last 5-10 minutes. It was a little back and forth in the first couple minutes, but Vikings definitely showing why they are the favorites in this early conference matchup. Over the top, headed back. Now for a Vikings throw. First soccer match of the year that WWU Cheer has attended. Good to see them here. Hakamada heads it forward. Sent back up in the air. For all those WWU freshmen watching their first game, coming to their first game, welcome to Harrington Field. It's a great experience to be here. This one over the top in a dangerous position between the back line and the goalkeeper, but looks like offside has been whistled against Albin Janssen. Vikings are a team that do quite enjoy to try to put through balls into the speed of Janssen, so they do get called for offside a decent amount of the time. But you only need one of those through balls to find the connection. Janssen is very precise in those one-on-one situations. Saints driving ahead here. It's Andrade who plays it back. Back to Andrade. McClellan. Back line is Lacona here. Over the top. It's left for Brandon Locke to collect. Early on here, Brandon Locke has not been called in to make a save. Only saves in the match coming from Nick Mueller. Mueller, the junior, who did not play last year due to injury. He's really had a great start to this season. In that opener, a 1-0 win, Saints were able to pick up against Westmont. Head coach Rob Walker described Mueller's performance as one of the best he had ever seen as a head coach at St. Martin's. 9 saves, 5 saves in the second half alone. to maintain a 1-0 victory to open up the season. Tesfaye to Roeder, back to Tesfaye. Vikings looking for openings, perhaps looking to switch the play. They do go direct on the left side. Steinmetz is making the run. The ball from Silvetti was too well struck, though, out for a throw. Vikings take the ball back quickly. Looking to start to build up near midfield, just into their own half. The captain, Hutter, surveys his options. Last man back is Silvetti. Tesfaye carries across midfield himself. Now plays it to Janssen. Janssen looking to turn, but he gets dispossessed. Andrade, back heels cut out by Serrano. Wow, goes down, draws a whistle. Now the Saints and the Vikings, two teams in the GNAC that have conceded the least fouls of any other teams. Saints at the bottom of that list by a pretty long margin as well. Less than 10 fouls per game against them this season, so very good discipline. Head coach Rob Walker in his 16th season will love to see that out of this young squad. Often you see a team that, like the Saints, is in a lot of gritty competitions, close score lines, fighting for every inch of space they can get. Give up a lot of fouls, but not the St. Martin's team so far this year. Dispossession there in the back forces a foul by Sebastiano Silvetti that will draw a quick and easy yellow card by head referee Will Nichols. Quite simply, he lost the ball and decided not the ball and the man are getting past me. I'll take the man down with the hands. So St. Martin's dangerous set-piece opportunity here. The only set-piece goal of this season was off a PK, but this is a situation where you put it in the middle, and that two-man wall means the Vikings have less players in the middle than they'd like. They do have tall players who are good in the air, but it's a very good opportunity early on for the Saints. Sent in, low, driven, headed away. Hiate was there. So the Vikings avoid the danger off the set piece. And they'll reset with a free kick. Brandon Locke plays it out to the far side. Akamada. Long ball ahead, finding Steinmetz. He's going to get whistled there for offside. Most dangerous shot of the match came from the foot of Lucas Hakamada from the top of the box. Since then, the Vikings haven't been able to put a real threat on the goal of Nick Mueller. Have controlled possession well, though. Saints have it here. Sent ahead to Kobata. And back to McClellan. The back line is Lacona. Here comes the press from Janssen. Runs all the way to Mueller, who's calm in possession. Long ball trying to get the Saints into an attacking position. Doesn't get past Tesfaye. And it'll be a Vikings throw after that deflected pass from Hakamada. Serrano playing it back. The captain, Hutter, looking to send Fernandez down the right side. Just didn't connect with that one clearly. Ended up straight down the middle. The goalkeeper, Mueller. Latin Heritage Day here at Harrington Field. Latin Student Union, Latinx Men in Higher Education, benefiting from fundraising here at Harrington Field today. Serrano through to Fernandez. Well done to get it to Janssen. Janssen down the right wing. He goes down. That'll be a whistle, and that'll be a card as well. Brian Lacona, the offending party. The Vikings come right back with a very similar set piece as we saw on St. Martin's attacking end. The last time out against Regis, we saw the captain, Mitchell Hutter, in the mix. And a lot of these set pieces, he must have won almost every single aerial duel in the opponent's box in that game. He had 3 or 4 shots just off of corners that found him. Wasn't able to put one past the goalkeeper, though, to score. It was a Hutter header that won the game last time these two teams faced off at Harrington. Serrano stands over, just the one-man wall for the Saints. Wow, low ball. Doesn't get past the first man, but it will be a Vikings corner. Fernandez started off near the corner flag, now runs towards the box. Serrano sends it in. Far post, header is over the bar. Steinmetz was able to rise up and get to that one, but not send it on frame. Earlier today we saw Western Washington women play the Saints to a 0-0 draw in Lacey. Vikings trying to pick up a positive result here against the men's team. This one's ahead. Steinmetz on the far end has a shot right at Mueller. Rebound is cleared away by Lacona. So another save for Mueller. That one not much trouble to the goalkeeper. It was right at him in the end. Western women will be disappointed to walk away without scoring that match in Lacey. Has been the trouble for the defending national champs this year, is putting the ball in the back of the net. They've controlled matches, put shots on goal. Just haven't been able to put points on the board at the rate they'd like. Hutter races ahead. Swarm of white shirts around him. Plays it to Janssen, now back to Serrano. Tesfaye is calling for it on the far end. It will get to him. 20 minutes gone in this one. St. Martin's yet to put a shot on goal. Vikings 3 to their name. Back to Mueller. Pressed by Janssen. Gets it back towards midfield. Hakamada heads it towards Roeder and Steinmetz. A little collision there. Will draw a whistle. We've already seen 2 yellow cards in this match. It was a feisty match last time at Harrington between these two teams. 7 yellow cards handed out in that one, in that 4-3 Vikings victory. It's really the most exciting back and forth match of the regular season for the Viking men last year. Long ball over the top. Does find Gill. Very well weighted ball. Gill working against Fernandez. And now it's taken away by Hiate. And right back by the Saints. Alvarado is fouled. Defending party is in Fernandez. That'll be a free kick right outside the box. This one basically a short distance corner right near that end line. Wacona's center back will come up to take it. Two-man wall is Hakamada and Fernandez. All but two players on the pitch are in the box right now for this set piece. Sent in right at Locke, who controls it. Second set piece we've seen in that situation for the Saints. Second time the Vikings have been able to avoid conceding a shot on goal. This ball is ahead to Steinmetz. Cuts it back, pressed by Alvarado, out for a Vikings throw. Alvarado turns with it. Quao looking for options, lifting it over the top. Good ball at Janssen. He gets it, cuts it inside himself. Little tricky pass by Hiate. Does get to Janssen eventually on his left foot. Shot takes a deflection and slowly dribbles to the goalkeeper Mueller. Left-footed strike from outside of the box was how Janssen got on the score sheet for one of his 2 goals against Regis. Scored both the goals in the 2-0 win. Picking up a brace. First one, convincing strike from just outside the box. Second one, you could really chalk up to a goalkeeper mistake, but Janssen will take it. Alvin Janssen, early on in his Vikings career, is in pursuit of history. He's currently on pace for a 15-goal season, which would be the most since Gibson Bardsley scored 18 back in 2010. Janssen is scoring a goal just about every 75 minutes he plays. Backheel attempt is cut out by Quao Serrano, who goes down, whistle blown. Janssen's 5 goals is top 25 in NCAA D2, tied for the GNAC lead. He has 14 goals in 24 career games, which is already a top 20 mark for career goals in Vikings history. This season, he's got 3 game-winning goals. All 3 game winners this season have come from him. The Saints trying to break here in transition. McClellan on the wing, working against Hutter and Fernandez. Sent in towards Locke. The shot came from Arjun Gill. It was right at Locke. That'll go down as his first save of the match. Really awkward angle. Not a lot of opportunity for Gill to get that past the Vikings senior captain and goalkeeper. He's been having an excellent season. Yate, nifty little piece of play to get around Alvarado, but Alvarado does pick his pocket in the end. And then a collision there between Leo Steinmetz and Seth Kobata will draw a whistle. Vikings will have a free kick. Just probably a little bit too far for a direct effort from Quao Serrano. His goal this season coming from a direct free kick, which could not have been any better placed. A shot that went off both the crossbar and the post on the way to the back of the net. This time only a one-man wall sent out by the Saints. They're committing their numbers towards the box instead. Serrano sends it in with the right foot. Hit away by Kobata. The Saints see if they can break in transition here. Sent ahead and cut out by Serrano tracking back. It will be a Saints throw, though. Shots are 7-3 right now, which might seem not good for St. Martin's, but they're a team who are only averaging 7 shots a game. This not a bad mark for them as they're looking to get another one here. Sent over the top, over everybody. Arjun Gill was at the far post, but the cross, too much air under it. We'll see our first substitutions of the match. They will come for the Vikings. Jacob Sundberg, Elliot Rains, and Ryan Roeder enter the match. Steinmetz and Hiate making way. Ryan Roeder has gotten a good amount of starts this year. On the bench today to start the match, but now comes in with just under 20 minutes remaining in the first half. Coming off an all-GNAC selection last year. A very convincing freshman season. Sundberg and Raines presenting a bit more experience to this squad. Outside of the boot pass, near side gets to McClellan. Back to Alvarado. Ball ahead, gets to Gill. Gill back to goal and resets it. Saints cycle back with Kobata. Trying to get around a swarm of dark blue. They can't do it effectively. There's a late whistle there. The referee perhaps looking to play advantage, but nothing developed, and he did end up calling the foul. St. Martin's player, I believe Alvarado, is down a little extra longer in some pain, but now up to his feet. Excuse me, that was Alvarado. Looks to be no worse for wear. The Vikings wary of a direct free kick from here. 4 players in the wall for them. Taker will be Lacona. Also standing over it is Nathan McClellan. McClellan will take direct right at Brandon Locke, who is ready for that shot at the far post. Collects it easily, picks up his 3rd save of the match. And that pass from Hutter is off, gets by Raines. Saints will take possession back. Good little string of play for St. Martin's. They're getting their opportunities on the Viking net right now. Far side, Sundberg back in defense. Andrade cuts it to his left foot. Now lofts it in. The battle by Sundberg. Is able to get it up in the air, but ends up getting it out of Harrington Field and across to the Fairhaven parking lot. It will be a Saints corner. First corner of the match. Ball is returned by a bystander. Will be an out-swinging corner taken here. Towards the middle of the box. Headed away by Silvetti to the top. Shot doesn't come. Alvarado tries the roulette, can't maintain possession though. And now running ahead at the counter are the Vikings with Alvin Janssen. Brown's behind him, Janssen behind one defender. He's got Roeder in the middle, cuts it towards the middle. Doesn't get to the waiting Andrew Roeder, just a step behind it. Not sure if that was an attempted shot at the far post by Janssen or an attempt to find Roeder, but either way, just split the difference. And a chance goes a-begging for the Vikings. We'll see a couple more changes. Diego Alvarado enters the game, as well as Jor Tidblom. For Janssen, that will be his last action of the first half as he comes off for Diego Alvarado. So changes in attack and defense for the Vikings to see out the last 15 minutes of this first period of play. Vikings have had a few opportunities. Perhaps would like to see at least one of those end in a goal, but has not paid off yet. Raines applying the pressure, as well as Alvarado. They earn a throw-in Saints territory. Thrown in to Quao Serrano, can't corral it, but battles back. It's taken back by Raines. Captain Hutter dinks it back, headed away. Saints retain possession here. Sun is set here at Harrington Field. We're yet to see the biting cold that we often do see here at the soccer season. Western Washington South Campus. None of the rain and wind that we've sometimes had to deal with, but I'm sure it'll be on the horizon as the season progresses. For now, just another beautiful night for Vikings soccer. Far side is Seleniko. Taken away by Hakamada and Sundberg. Sundberg looks to spring Alvarado, won't find the target, clearing his lines with Zach Martin. Taken back by the Vikings. Andrew Roeder, space to run ahead here. He's got Rains on the near side. Rains, the return to Roeder. In the corner, around one defender. Now looking to cycle things back. Still maintains possession. Vikings going to cycle it back to the far side now. Sundberg ahead to Quao Serrano. Nifty pass. Back to Sundberg, who is too heavy on his first touch. Long balls looking for Rains. It will get to him. Alvarado's got the drop pass and a chance to put it into the middle. Takes it there himself. Left foot shot, deflected and blocked away. Taken down by Roeder. Crowd urging the Vikings on. They want to see them take the lead here in the first half. Vikings are 3-0 in games where they've scored first. For a St. Martin's team that has had their struggles on the offensive end, getting that first goal would be massive. Goalkeeper lock distributed it's long down the left side. Sundberg can't get the battle to be won there. Will be a Saints throw, as well as St. Martin's substitutions. Cameron Kreider, freshman out of Spokane, Washington. One of 10 freshmen on this Saints squad. Kreider, the 6'1" forward. He's going to slot into the very top of this Saints formation. We saw last year, Saints able to use height at the top of their formation and get some goals past the Vikings. It was David Settle who was able to score, the 6'4" forward out of Seattle last year, to tie things up at 3-3, where the Vikings eventually found the winner in the 88th minute. We're going to see a couple of substitutions here for the Vikings. Eric Bunnell and Caden Wall enter the match for Andrew Roeder and Lucas Hakamada. Wall's picked up a start this season, has been a very solid squad rotation player throughout his Vikings career, and Bunnell, a striker option who I don't believe is talked about enough. Really consistent striker at the top of the formation. Works hard. Makes his own opportunities. Picked up a brace in preseason here at Harrington against University of Puget Sound. Driving in here is Andrade and losing it. Back to the back line. Seleniko. Vikings throwing a miscue header by Arjun Gill. 10 minutes remaining here in the first half of play. Neither team able to find the opener yet. Vikings put up 9 shots, Saints have 3. St. Martin's a team that has conceded over twice as many shots as they've taken this year, and that is reflected in the scoreline so far tonight. But none of that matters unless the Vikings can find Twine. Neat pass there from Andrade near midfield. Alvarado recycles it back. Mueller surveys his options. He's been called to actions a few times today. His best save of the night coming against a Lucas Hakamada half volley. Will be a Vikings throw on the far end. Sundberg's over to take it. Alvarado back to Sundberg. Running down the wing now is Bunnell. Bunnell Gets the ball through the defender's legs, goes down and draws the foul. You see right there immediately off the bench, Bundle creating his own opportunities in a one-on-one against Seth Kobata. Little nutmeg, Kobata didn't let him by. Vikings with what is essentially a corner here. Free kick right near the flag. Caden Wall and Klaus Serrano standing over it. Wall the in-swinging option. Serrano perhaps an outswinger. Back to Wall. Driven ball. Far post now. Hutter's going to let this one go out for a throw. Looks like Hutter setting up for a long throw here all the way into the box. It does get there. Controlled in there by Alvarado, fighting for possession. Saints eventually do clear it out. Gill. Saints not able to get a quick counterattack here, and they'll reset. Shushan. That pass is right at Elliott Raines. Mueller has to race back to his goal line. Saints are able to get it back, though. Raines pressing again. St. Martin's having trouble getting by. The experience of Elliott Raines on this near side at fullback. Once again taken away. This time by Serrano. Gets it to Sundberg. Ahead to Bunnell in the box. Back to goal. Surveying his options. He's got Caden Wall on an outlet. Vikings will reset near midfield with Silvetti. Tidblom lifts it over the top. Alvarado, the runner, doesn't get past the defensive Zach Martin, though. Thrown into Alvarado. Working against Kobata. Can't get it by him. Serrano goes to ground, but no whistle. Serrano a bit slow to get up. Perhaps took a knock to the right leg there. Had referee Will Nichols over to check on him. And that looks like he's going to stop the clock and perhaps call for the trainer, as Serrano is now up on his feet. He'll be able to walk it off. Clock stopped at 6:10 remaining in the half. We'll restart here with a Saints goal kick taken short by Mueller. Once again looking for the long ball to Gill. It's worked out a couple times for him tonight, but this time Hutter is the first one to it. Locke clears it under the press. Collision near midfield. Serrano's down again. Kobata went right into the back of him there. Serrano once again shaken up. Quay back to his feet, though. A little talking to for Seth Kobata right here. Ryan Roeder, the substitute, stands over this one. Right at midfield. Plays it back to Silvetti. Pass was looking for Sundberg. It'll get there off of the header. And now Roeder, the interception, and the pass to Serrano. Has a crack with the right foot on the ground. Mueller, no problem picking that one up. His fourth save of the night. Now Serrano just not able to get the power behind that he would have liked to. It's right back to Quao. Tries to find Alvarado. Koenig ahead. Foul against Cameron Kreider there. Gives the Saints another free kick in their own half. They take it quickly. That pass easily picked off by Rains. Gets it ahead to Bunnell. Bunnell cuts it towards the middle. Step overs, left foot strike is blocked. Rains picked that one up from an offside position, and that'll end that passage or play for the Vikings. So Bunnell having a shot from just outside the box, and once again, this St. Martin's back line, right place, right time to block it away. Hutter controls it himself, running all the way into the attack here. Chance to put it in. Can't keep it over that end line. It'll be a St. Martin's goal kick. Vikings have 11 shots in this half, headed towards their highest shot total of their home slate so far this year. They've forced 4 saves out of Mueller and a good few blocks out of the center backs of St. Martin's. We don't have XG, expected goals, at this level of the game, but it would be nice to see what that number is for the Vikings so far in this game. They've had some really dangerous chances. Andrade plays it back to Selenikio. Pressed by Bunnell, runs towards midfield himself with it. Kobata. Saints have it on the far end now. Sundberg in defense. Alvarado looking to find some space. Sent in. Silvetti's there to head it towards the top of the box. Kobata, right-footed strike is blocked away by Caden Wall. The substitute doing his job there defensively, not letting that one get to the goal of Locke, who hasn't had to make a particularly difficult save so far yet tonight, as that is a good press by Alvarado, just doesn't get out the end of it. 2 minutes and change remaining in the half. Both teams looking to find a breakthrough. Ahead with Koenig. His passes miscued. Interplay between Sundberg and Serrano. Serrano looking to spring Alvarado ahead. Working against Kobata. Thinks it past him. Cross on the deck into the middle. Elliot Rains has a shot, and that one is blocked away. That's a great block by Sean Selenikio. The ball got into the middle. If that would have been sent on goal, Mueller would have had a tough time getting over. Gotta say, Elliot Rains has had a really good impact on this match, coming off from the bench. Rains, perhaps the most experienced player on this Vikings team. In-swinger from Quao Serrano. Far post. Finds a white shirt first. Clear to the top of the box with Roeder. Wall sends in a switch of play. Serrano tries to send it back into the middle. Take a deflection. Looks like that'll be another corner kick. Yes, it will, with under a minute left to play in the first half. Vikings, they've got 50 seconds to find the opener in the first period of play. Corner this time. Far post again. And that time does not find anybody. And it'll be out for a goal kick. 30 seconds left. Mueller is in no hurry to take the goal kick. Might just want to wind things down here to halftime. Mueller still slowly jaunting up to this one. Certainly just letting the clock run out as we're down to 5 seconds. They'll give it a boot. The buzzer will sound. The Vikings, 13 shots, 4 saves forced out of Mueller, but nothing to show for it on the scoreline. We go to the break. Western Washington 0, St. Martin 0. Don't go away. We'll be back in just about 15 minutes here on Viking TV. Welcome back to Harrington Field. I'm Adam Rice here on Viking TV. Western Washington, St. Martin's deadlocked at 0-0 through the first 45 minutes of the 2023 GNAC opener. Western Washington, the favorites coming into this game, controlled the first half. When you look at the shots, forced 4 saves out of goalkeeper Nick Mueller, but unable to capitalize on any of their many opportunities. Some of the best in the match coming from Lucas Hakamada. Half volley from the top of the box, forced a good save out of Mueller. A chip attempt by Kyoto Hiate was just over the top crossbar. Shots on goal also coming from Andrew Roeder, Theo Steinmetz, and Kwao Serrano. For St. Martin's, Lacona, McClellan, and Gill all putting shots on goal. None of them too much trouble to goalkeeper Brandon Locke, though. And each team has 45 minutes to try to find a winner. Elsewhere in the GNAC here on the first day of GNAC interconference play, a big result down in Monmouth. Western Oregon University, who were ranked joint bottom of the GNAC in the preseason poll alongside these St. Martin Saints, have played Simon Fraser to a 2-2 draw. Simon Fraser were tied atop the GNAC preseason poll along with Western Washington. Western Oregon benefiting off of 2 goals in under a minute from Alejandro Velasco to come out with a 2-2 result against a Simon Fraser team that up to this point in the season had conceded just about 0.6 goals per game. So that's a huge result for the Western Oregon Wolves, and for Simon Fraser, a disappointing result. The other game that has already happened so far was also a draw, that 1-1 between Seattle Pacific and Northwest Nazarene, which means if the Vikings are able to find a winner and hold on in these last 45 minutes, they will finish tonight top of the GNAC table. And what a way to start the conference season that would be. We are underway. Vikings in the dark blue moving right to left now on your screen. St. Martin's in the white moving left to right. Vikings immediately sending the long ball ahead, putting on pressure. Alvarado takes it away, shot with the left foot right at Mueller. Rebound is cleared. Seconds into the second half. The Vikings lash one at Mueller, who makes the save. Alvarado, the first half substitute, got his left foot behind it. Still not on the field to start this second half is Vikings leading scorer Albin Jotson. But Grubel Tesfaye is over to take this long throw. Gets into the middle. Mueller up with it, bouncing around in there. Caden Wall has it now. Tesfaye around one defender. Left-footed cross. Top of the box. Alvarado's shot is wide left. Fireworks early from the Vikings. First minute of the second half and a few good opportunities. Mueller ended up in an aerial duel with Eric Bunnell. Sent the ball back out to Caden Wall. Cycled it back in, but the shot from Alvarado, his second shot of the second half in just a minute played, goes wide left. But really good signs from the Vikings. They take it away again here. Bunnell to Rains to Wall. Wall now towards the other side of the field, near side with Roeder. Tesfaye. Bunnell. Good move to work it towards the box. Still on his feet, now it's taken away from him. Saints looking to break in transition. Koenig, the native of Bellingham, plays it back near midfield. So immediately the Vikings shot total goes up to 15. St. Martin's is averaging 16 shots against them on the season. Vikings almost at that mark already. It has not been a game devoid of chances or shots. Bunnell controls it. Tries the handoff there with on-running Mitchell Hutter, but does not work out. It will be a Saints throw. So you saw those draws from Northwest Nazarene, a team that entered this season ranked nationally in the top 10. Drawing against a dangerous Seattle Pacific side. And then the upset draw by Western Oregon just shows how wide open this GNAC is. Vikings made a run at it last year and were in pole position for a lot of the season, but falling behind at the end. Northwest Nazarene coming out, regular season champions. No tournament play in the GNAC. This early cross is sent in and controlled by Mueller, who's right at him. He has been busy tonight. He has not disappointed. You could say he's definitely been the MVP for the Saints this season, especially considering no player on this Saints squad has more than one goal this year. McClellan, the only player with both a goal and an assist. Driving in here is Andrade. Dispossessed, but not cleanly. Whistle goes against Sundberg. Crowd didn't like that one, but it will be a free kick for the Saints. It will be McClellan standing over the free kick. 3 white shirts in the middle. It'll send to the far post. Locke calls for it and collects it. Cycles it back out to Krubel Tesfaye, the red shirt freshman. Tesfaye puts a move on the pressing attacker, tries to play it ahead. It does eventually get to Bunnell. Controls it, gets ahead to Alvarado. Side of the box. Backed up by Sundberg. Alvarado taking it himself. On the deck and out for a goal kick. Eric Bunnell not happy about that one. He wanted the corner. But it is judged to last have gone off of Bunnell and not the defender, Brian Lacona. Goal kick for the Saints. Misplay by Tesfaye. Saints try to pounce on it, but can't maintain possession into the attacking third. Locke surveys his option, slays it short. Jar Tidblom to Tesfaye, and now back to Locke. 5 minutes gone here in the second half. Vikings came right out of the gates firing, but haven't been able to put a shot on goal since. Bunnell trying to find Sundberg, can't run onto it. It'll go over for a goal kick. Would be a great thing to see the Vikings grab a winner in this one. Great attendance here. Basically all students. First week of classes. Upwards of 400 here at Harrington Field. Fans dotting the hills. Stands just about packed. Great thing to see. We saw excellent attendance in Carver Gym for volleyball, and now here at Harrington Field. Couldn't have a more beautiful night. Full moon over the tree line. Just a slight gust of wind. St. Martin's placed at the far end with Daniel Shushan. Sends in an early cross. It's headed away by Tidblom. Klaus Serrano up to Alvarado. Bunnell's running ahead. Alvarado tries to find him. That's a beautiful ball through. The chip will be over the top from Bunnell. What a through ball from Diego Alvarado. Hit it first time with the left foot. Looked to be the outside of the boot. And it was just weighted inch perfect for Bunnell, who just got a little bit too much of the chip attempt. We saw him score a chip with an on-running goalkeeper here at Harrington in preseason against the University of Puget Sound, but not as sweet a connection that time. Hutter takes it away and runs forward with it himself. Sends an early cross in. Doesn't get to Bunnell, though. Selenikio takes it across midfield. Looks to his right. Andrade can't get around Sundberg, and the pass is misplayed, taken away by Roeder. Bunnell, he's got Raines running on his right. Past a sliding tackle, past another attempted tackle. Now tries to find Alvarado. It does get there. Seen really good play on the ball from the Vikings here in the second half, working around white shirts. technically it has been impressive. We'll see if the finishing can get tested. That one easily taken away by Rains. Saints have just been trying to spring attacks by sending that long ball from the back line to the front line. Has not been close to getting past Rains and Wall and Roeder in the midfield. Vikings in somewhat of a unorthodox 3-3-4. Certainly committing numbers ahead in possession. Excuse me, that will be a 4-3-3 out of possession. Wall, defensive Andrade. Pass goes off of Roeder. Bundle controls it off the chest. Near side, Caden Wall. One defender in front of him. Back heel. It's not going to get to Alvarado. Zach Martin was quick to recognize it and clear the danger out for a Viking throw. Tesfaye sends in the long throw, doesn't get past the first Saints defender. Top of the box, Roeder has a crack, doesn't make clean contact with it. It's sent back up in the air. Tidblom back to goal and back to Hutter. Saints really just have not been able to put a spell of possession together here so far in the second period of play. It's been all Vikings. It's the Saints team that's used to giving up a lot of possession, used to giving up a lot more shots than they take, but 2-2-1 on the season. Overall, it hasn't worked too bad for them. This ball ahead to Rains. Trying to juggle it and control, but it is taken back by McClellan. McClellan well under the pressure to get it ahead. Kobata pressed by Roeder. Near side now to Selenikio. Looking for Andrade. Tesfaye gets there first and sends it out for a Saints throw. We're going to see our first substitutions of the second half. It will be for St. Martin's. David Settle sees his first minutes of the match. Big midfield strike option. 6'4" out of Seattle, Washington, graduate of Nathan Hale High School. He scored last time he played here at Harrington against the Vikings to make it 3-3. Settle immediately becoming the tallest outfield player out there. There's a nice little nutmeg from Angel Alvarado. Leads to a Saints free kick. Selenikio working his way ahead. Alvarado ahead to Settle. Top of the box is Shushan. Chips it in. Krubel Tesfaye is there. Only as far as Andrade. Tesfaye's there again. And the shot from Shushan is wide right. That might be the best opportunity the Saints have had. Shushan on a bit of a half volley at the top of the box. Wasn't able to get a lot of power behind it. No troubling Brandon Locke. That will be the 6th shot of the game for St. Martin's. That equals their season average in shots. Klaus Serrano back to Tidblom. You gotta say St. Martin's coming in here as the underdogs in what is a fortress in Harrington Field. Been really up to the task, keeping the Vikings out of the net thus far and getting a few opportunities of their own. Western Washington has 32 minutes to change that, though. Far side is Rains. Sends in an early cross. Bunnell's in the middle. Chests it down. Serrano not able to get there before Settle. Settle on it now. 3 blue shirts around him. Maintains possession. Saints throw on the near side now. Gotta say, this is a bit of the opposite of what we saw last time these two teams faced off at Harrington. A 3-4 shootout, and now a 0-0 just grind. Each team battling for every opportunity they can get. Vikings have had the majority, but Saints have been there when they've needed to keep it out of the net. Martin, back to goalkeeper Mueller, pressed by Bunnell. Mueller just sends it twirling up in the air and out into the crowd. Souvenir here. Ball's thrown in quickly. Sadly, this is not baseball. You're going to have to give that ball back to the staff, at the very least at the end of the match. WWU cheer getting the crowd going here. With just over 30 minutes remaining. Taken away by Bunnell. Gets it ahead to Serrano. Serrano's in space. Tries to get it to Alvarado. Pass is cut out. Nifty pass. Trying to spring a break the other way. Tesfaye is there to cut it out. Rubel Tesfaye has been very involved in defense in this second half and so far has been flawless. Tesfaye, a redshirt freshman out of Seattle, getting his first minutes here in his second year as part of the program. Has been starting, has been really effective as well. The young back line of him and Sebastiano Silvetti has put together what to this point is the best defense in the GNAC, with Simon Frazier giving up 2. Looks like Lucas Hakamada's coming back into the game here for the Vikings. He had perhaps the best shot of the night thus far. Half volley from the top of the box, which had a lot of power behind it, but wasn't able to get past Mueller. Roeder to Rains. Wall is able to control it, get it to Alvarado. Pops it over the top. Mueller's there to collect. Cut out and taken back to Alvarado, who has a quick shot with his left foot turning around. Perhaps not the best option he had in that situation. He did have Roeder running into the box. Shot was right at Mueller. It'll go down as a save, but perhaps his easiest of the night. Shove in the back there from Hutter. Draws the referee's ire. Arjun Gill going down. Tackle there from Hutter. Keeps the ball from moving forward, but doesn't take possession back. That's a Viking squad that has converted on almost half of their shots on goal this season. You know, you get 2-3 shots on goal, and statistically, the Vikings have scored this year. But already 6 saves on the night from Mueller has stopped that streak. Spin move attempted there. It does stay in bounds, but it's taken back by the Saints. Andrade takes a long strike with the right foot right off of Tesfaye. Good ball ahead to Bunnell. Bunnell's in room on the left side. Alvarado in the middle. Hakamada behind him. Back to Hakamada. Looks towards goal. Right-footed shot. Takes a deflection off of Sean Kobata. Out of play. We'll see a Vikings corner here. near side. Caden Wall over to take the in-swinger. Wall lifts it, far post. Headed back towards the middle by Hutter, but it strays over the back line for a goal kick. We're going to see some more substitutions here for the hosts. Albin Janssen coming back into the match, as well as Theo Steinmetz and Andrew Roeder. So the Vikings' two leading scorers both coming on here. Janssen and Roeder have been haunting GNAC defenses last season and some non-conference defenses so far this season. Seven of the Vikings' goals have come from that strike duo of Janssen and Roeder. On that recent homestand where the Vikings picked up 3-0 and 2-0 victories, it was 3 goals from Janssen, 1 from Roeder, and 1 from Serrano. Saints looking ahead towards Settle. And now with Alvarado. Alvarado gets it around Tidblom. Now it's kept away, and it's Roeder against Settle. Roeder, ball over the top. Janssen is in an offside position. Xander Koenig, the Bellingham native, re-enters the match. Freshman midfielder started the game and now comes back on as a second half substitute. Squalcombe High School product. Certainly a few fans in attendance here to see Koenig. He gets it here. Running towards the end line are the Saints. Player goes down, no whistle. It was excellent defense in there by the captain, Hutter. Gets a goal kick for Western Washington. Tesfaye had Andrew Roeder taken away quickly by Alvarado. Koenig looking for options now, plays it back out towards midfield. Saints will knock it around the back line. Under 25 remaining in the half. Press comes from Roeder and Janssen. Mueller is calm and collected under a dangerous back pass there. Does end up getting to Brian Lincona. Settle shoves Mitchell Hutter. That is a quick whistle from Will Nichols. Hutter went down in a heap, up to his feet quickly though. Steinmetz on the near side, one of the co-captains. All three on the field right now in Steinmetz, Hutter, and Locke. Theo Steinmetz with it again. Goes down and it'll be another foul. Taken quickly off the free kick, and now they're going to get called back for playing that one too quickly and not in the right position. Something the referees sometimes let fly, but not right there from Will Nichols. Hutter gets Janssen. This is his first touch of the second half here. Gets to Rains. Tesfaye calling it forward on the near side. He gets it on the switch of play. One touch ahead to Andrew Roeder. That's a good ball from Tesfaye. Roeder's got a bit of space on the wing. Couple defenders to beat. Cuts it inside around one. Doesn't get around the second though. Pops back out to Tesfaye. Ryan Roeder now. The two Roeder brothers both on the field. Hutter, long distance strike. Looks to take a deflection off of Albin Janssen. Hutter, a player who is not shy to take the long strike. Running ahead now is Koenig. Takes the long shot and almost caught Locke off his line. Locke was backpedaling towards goal. That would have been a spectacular strike to open things up, but not clean contact from Koenig. Tesfaye looks for the long ball. Headed back, only as far as Caden Wall. Rains. Into Janssen. Janssen has a shot on goal right at Nick Mueller, who makes yet another save. That is his 8th of the match. He had 9 in a game earlier this season. That is his career high. Mueller trying to put together another heroic performance between the sticks for an underdog Saints squad who have given up 21 shots already in this game. Vikings 21 minutes to try to break the deadlock. See if St. Martin's can sneak one by Locke, though. Tesfaye takes no chances there, sends it out for a throw. Throw's taken short into Andrade. Interplay between Alvarado and Andrade. Back to Andrade. All the way back to Kobata. That one goes through 2 sets of legs, and it's picked up by Hutter. Hutter running with it across midfield himself. Nice little run here from the defender. Far side to Rains. Cross into the middle. Janssen is there. Doesn't get to him. Cleared back to midfield. Rains to Wall. Back to Rains at the top of the box, goes down, draws a whistle, and this is the position where the Vikings can get a direct free kick opportunity to perhaps get a winner, or an opener at least. Caden Wall is the set-piece specialist on the field. When Klaus Serrano's on the bench, as he is right now, it was Serrano who scored a direct free kick from about this distance here at Harrington against the Colorado School of Mines. Looks like Ryan Roeder is another option off the dead ball here. Roeder and Wall are the 2 options for Saints in the Wall. Caden Wall, right foot curling and wide right and a bit high as well. Aiden Fernandez and Kyoto Hiyate re-enter the field of play, replacing Elliot Rains and Caden Wall. That free kick will be his perhaps last touch of the match, unless he comes in one more time in this last 19 minutes and change. Hiyate, the engine of this Vikings squad. An injury against Simon Frazier to Hiyate really hampered the Vikings. He was out for the season with that shoulder injury. Good to see him back in play. He's got 2 assists already this year. That long ball to the top is going to get to Alvarado, but he can't control it. It's taken back by Tidblom. Tesfaye up to Andrew Roeder. Hakamada's making the overlapping run. Hakamada, couple step overs. Good move towards the end line, into the middle. Nobody there at the far post. Janssen made the run near the middle of the goal. Just wasn't in the right place to receive the cross from Hakamada. Once again, we've seen the Vikings get across into a really dangerous spot beyond the reach of Mueller, and just nobody's home to finish it off. Aiden Fernandez onto the field with his first touches. Long ball over the top. Nobody's going to get there besides goalkeeper Mueller, who controls it off the chest. St. Martin's, I'm sure, would not be upset with coming away with a 0-0 result here on the road against preseason favorites Western Washington. They've still got time to find a surprise winner of their own. Running ahead here is Settle. He puts it on the deck into the middle. Tidblom boots it up and out. Excuse me, it's kept in play by Ryan Roeder, first to react, and kept in by Aiden Fernandez. But his pass is miscued. And now a foul called against Daniel Shushan will stop that run of play. Hutter just able to keep that one in bounds. dancing on the line and staying in. Fernandez switches play. Good ball to Steinmetz. Looks to put in an early cross with the left. Doesn't get past the first defender. Back to Steinmetz, though. He's dispossessed with authority by Diego Andrade. Saints, well done there to break the Viking press. Get it ahead to settle. Far side, Fernandez, great piece of defense there. Sliding tackle sends it out for a throw-in. McClellan doing battle with Janssen. Janssen wins it. Touch is too heavy. He wants a whistle for a shove in the back, a push on the jersey. He does get it, and a yellow card. I believe that one will go against McClellan, the leading point getter for the Saints so far this season. Second Saints player to receive a yellow card this game. Third overall. The other defending party's Lacona, Sebastiano Silvetti. Blom to Hutter. That pass ahead doesn't find the intended target. It's back with Settle. That passes right back to Hutter. Saints really have not been able to get a good run of possession in the attacking third in the second half. They've had a few opportunities on the break, but nothing to trouble Locke as of yet. Vikings goalkeeper has not been called into action to make any sort of outstanding save, but he has been solid and reliable as always. Running ahead with it now is Fernandez. Right-footed strikes right at Mueller. That is save number 9 for the junior out of Yakima. We've seen a lot of shots on goal for the Vikings, but a lot of them, unfortunately, have been straight at Nick Mueller. To my memory, only one shot where Mueller really had to move left to right, and that was off the Hakamata half volley back in the first half. It is now 23 shots for Western Washington. Steinmetz pressured and gives it away. Passes off of Andrew Roeder. Calls for handball, but head referee says Roeder had his hands in a natural position, so no handball called. Vikings take possession back. Hutter ahead. Steinmetz heads it towards Roeder. Andrew Roeder tinks it over the defender, but can't get to the resulting ball ahead. Now Ryan Roeder on it to Steinmetz. Ball in. Andrew Roeder can't control that one cleanly. Came up at an awkward height right at his hip. Selenikio re-enters play, placing Arjun Gill. Vikings, if they can break the deadlock and earn a win, would sit atop the GNAC table. Same goes for St. Martin's, though. And if this result holds, it'll be 3 draws across the GNAC on the first day of conference play. Piate running ahead with it, lays it off to Ryan Roeder. Piate up to Andrew Roeder. Fernandez in a lot of space at the far end. It does get to him. Fernandez, nifty step overs, gets to the end line, sends it in, headed straight up in the air, and Mueller's there to collect. 12 minutes, 35 seconds on the clock right now. Saints still holding on, trying to get what would be the second surprise draw of the day in the GNAC. The first one being that 2-2 draw down in Monmouth between Western Oregon and Simon Fraser, although you got to say this one would be more impressive for the fact that it was away at Harrington Field, a place where the Vikings have won upwards of 70% of their matches since it opened. It's become a strong fortress for Western Washington, a place where no team likes to play. Kobata goes to ground briefly, but regains his footing to clear his lines. Pass intended for Settle, cut out by Hutter. Mitchell Hutter running ahead with it, gets a little tug in the back, doesn't go down though, no whistle. Instead, it's with Hakamata. Janssen, across the top of the box. Tried to get onto his left foot, couldn't get a shot off. Pass deflected off of Aiden Fernandez, and it goes back to the Vikings through Hakamata. Gets it back to Fernandez. Into the box now. Right foot strike is blocked. Nick Mueller happy with his defense there. It will be another Vikings corner. Fernandez now the set piece taker for Western Washington. Will be an out-swinging corner. Low and driven ball. Tidblom gets on the end of it, but the shot was blocked and a crowd of bodies in front of net. Out for another corner kick. Before this one is taken, we'll see substitution. Sebastiano Silvetti comes back into the game. Captain Mitchell Hutter comes out. Hutter's played a large majority of minutes this year. Does come out here for the redshirt freshman Silvetti. Another outswinger here from Fernandez. This time it doesn't get to a blue shirt, but does get right back to Fernandez. Cross towards a crowd of bodies. Silvetti gets ahead to it, bouncing around in there, and cleared away as far as Hakamata. Dangerous scuffle, doesn't get anything. Outside of the boot cross. Tesfaye's in a position, but he can't get the left foot to that one. Just a little bit beyond his reach. The defender almost had a point-blank shot opportunity. Just wasn't quite quick enough to react. It'll be another Vikings corner with another 10 minutes to play. The hosts are putting the pressure on St. Martin's, trying to find a winner. This time Fernandez with the in-swinger from the near side. Far post. Off a Saints defender. And we will go again from the corner flag. Fourth corner in quick succession for Western Washington. A couple have been dangerous. Vikings committing a lot of players ahead. Andrew Roeder, Kyoto Hiate, the only players who aren't involved in the attack in the set piece routine. Ball sent in. Tidblom got a piece of it. Directed it out to Hiate. Long distance strike with the left foot. Nowhere near the goal. High, wide, and left. Second time Hiate's had a crack from distance. That one not as convincing as the first. Vikings have 26 shots in this match. I believe that is their season high. They will be very disappointed to not come out with at least one goal in this match. They've got 8 minutes and 15 seconds to find that goal. Ball thrown in quickly. St. Martin's right now just one striker. Everybody else back in defense. All hands on deck to try to secure a draw. Header finds Steinmetz. Sends in an early cross. Far post. Janssen's there. Gets ahead to it. Back into the middle. And then headed back to the goalkeeper Mueller by the center back, Brian Lacona. Hakamata to Roeder. Tidblom looks ahead to Fernandez. Fernandez has his pocket picked by Selenikio. Once again, St. Martin's looking like in the last 7.5 minutes, the plan is get the ball and clear it past midfield as quick as possible. Once again, sent ahead by McClellan, right to Roeder. Seven minutes now on the clock. Popped up in the air, Steinmetz settling under it. Does get the header to it, but it's right at Kobata. Silvetti, long ball over the top. Looks like it'll find its target on the far end, and Fernandez, his cross is blocked. He's going to get to the rebound, though. Ryan Roeder ahead to Hiate. Tesfaye. Vikings probing, looking for a way through this 5-man back line that the Saints have set up. St. Martin's putting essentially 9 players plus the goalkeeper behind the ball, trying to see out this draw. It would be very on brand for St. Martin's team this year, who've gotten a lot of gritty victories. Head coach Rob Walker has talked about grittiness at length as an important part of this team and how they get results. Albin Janssen, a bit of a physical duel there, does win a corner. Substitutions for either side here. Quao Serrano, an excellent offensive creator, comes into the match, replacing Ryan Roeder. And for St. Martin's, Arjun Gill re-enters the match. Junior midfielder out of Linwood will replace Nathan McClellan. And it will be Serrano now on set-piece duty. Plays it short to Hakamada. Back to Serrano. Dummy sends one player flying, sends it in. The header is wide by Janssen. Looks like it might have taken a deflection off the head of a Saints defender, but it will be whistled for a goal kick. Under 5 minutes remaining here at Harrington Field, 400 plus, eagerly awaiting a break to the deadlock. Good news for the Vikings. It is now around 250 consecutive minutes without conceding a goal. Those 2 previous shutouts here at Harrington Field a couple weeks back. But all that matters right now is putting a point up on the board and starting off their GNAC slate with a victory. Down to Hipa Serrano this time, no whistle. Saints see if they have one more attack left in them here. Koenig ahead with it. Can't get past the defensive Tidblom, who earns a goal kick. Locke races over to take it quickly. Every second mattering here. It would be a dramatic winner if the Vikings could find it. Saints bring it across midfield with Settle. Misplayed. Vikings looking to get some numbers on the break. Ball ahead to Roeder. Janssen's in the middle. Ball into him. Janssen can't get a clean shot off. It was the duel between him and Zach Martin. Janssen will be very disappointed he didn't send that one on net. And Martin's down in a heap. Looked to be a shoulder-to-shoulder collision between him and Janssen, who tried to get position on the defender. Clock will be stopped at 2 minutes, 47 seconds. Janssen looking up towards the sky. That was a golden opportunity to pick up what would be his 4th game-winning goal of this young season. He was the target they were looking for. He's the man in form. As Martin looks like he's going to have to be substituted out here. Head referee Will Nichols motioning for the substitution from the Saints bench. It will be Nathan McClellan re-entering play for the last 2 minutes, 47 seconds. Martin will butt scoot his way off the field. Hopefully he is all right. Martin has put in a good defensive shift to keep these Vikings out of net. The junior defender out of Olympia. He'll receive treatment behind the goal. Saints are 2 minutes, 47 seconds away from breaking a 7-match run in which the Vikings have won every meeting. This their 34th meeting between these two programs. Janssen, little scorpion kick ahead. Doesn't get to anything. Tidblom sends a long one over the top. Hiate trying to run onto it. Cleared away and controlled by Selenikio. Akamada heads it to Tidblom. Running ahead with it himself. Can't get past Daniel Shushan. Saints now across midfield. They've got a few numbers here. It gets ahead. It's Koenig. The hometown kid may have just won it for the visitors. Wow. That is just a knife to the heart of the Western Washington Vikings. They have controlled this match whistle to whistle. And Koenig, the Bellingham native, his first collegiate match at Harrington Field, may have just sent the Saints towards a shock upset victory. What a moment for that young man. But Western Washington, they just look in disbelief right now. And they've got 2 minutes just to salvage a draw. They're going to send everybody ahead. Like a line of scrimmage in football. 2 minutes on the clock now. Tesfaye lobs it ahead. Wow, Serrano, far end to Hiate, doesn't get there. Saints looking for what would be just their 8th all-time victory against Western Washington and just their 2nd all-time victory at Harrington Field. Tesfaye, the long throw, minute and a half on the clock. Headed straight up in the air. Mueller's there, falls on it. He'll be in no hurry to get back up and distribute it out. Clock's going to tick down near the minute mark. Vikings, a team that scored 9 goals in 2 matches against the Saints last season. And they're 1 minute away. If they can't find a tying goal, crowd urging them on. Andrew Roeder in the corner. Driving into the box. Well defended. It'll be a goal kick. Saints, early celebration here. 48 seconds on the clock and a goal kick. It's not looking great for Western Washington. This would just be a devastating loss to take. 28 shots on the board for Western Washington. 9 of them saved by Mueller. 45 seconds on the clock. Steinmetz tries to send it ahead, and it's cleared right back out. Long ball ahead. Brandon Locke puts everything he can behind that one. High into the Bellingham Knight. Header goes backwards. It gets to Steinmetz. Off the chest of Hiate. Excuse me, that will be called for a handball against Kyoto Hiate. We have under 20 seconds here to play, and that might just do it. Head referee waving them on, but with 10 seconds here, Mueller's going to put everything he can behind this one. Sends it deep into Western Washington territory. And the buzzer sounds. A devastating loss for Western Washington against St. Martin's University. For only the second time in program history, the Saints have won a game at Harrington Field, and it was the hometown kid, Xander Koenig, the freshman, slotting it past Brandon Locke, breaking a 250-minute shutout streak for Western Washington. St. Martin's run out 1-0 victors, 28 shots for the Vikings, 8 for St. Martin's, who now sit atop the GNAC after 2 draws in the other conference matches happening. And Western Washington will have to try to bounce back from a tough conference opening loss. Their next match will be on the road against a tough Northwest Nazarene squad before returning home to take on rivals Seattle Pacific on October 5th. We hope to see you in attendance or listening in here on Viking TV. Xander Koenig, the winner. Vikings fall 1-0 to visiting St. Martin's Saints. I've been Adam Race on Viking TV. Thank you for tuning in. Good night, and as always, Go Vikes.